Southern Women in the 1930s by Zany Bangash, Marin Sanders, and Fallon Massey. The 1930s were a test of true American values. While the Great Depression was just beginning, women were desperately fighting for their rights. Women were usually seen as housewives or homemakers. Although society expected women to run the home, they were determined to make their mark. Southern women in the 1930s used protest, values, and emotional appeal, thus strengthening their role in society. Women used a strong set of values to support their families during the 1930s. During the 1930s, the typical black woman in the South usually acted as a cook or a housekeeper for a white family. They were seen taking care of children and performing other chores around the home. While African American women were responsible for maintaining a suitable household, Southern white women managed the social order throughout their community. Southern tradition was applied to everything throughout their daily lives, whether it involved picking out a certain clothing item or setting the table for dinner. Creating different clubs and organizations was often an important role for their typical white woman. Although blacks were mainly seen inside the home, white women were also involved in the upkeep of a household. Even though women were expected to stay home, they began to find jobs outside of the home using emotional appeal. If a girl tried to get any job outside of the home, they were mocked and treated very tough. Many people at that time considered it to be insulting for a woman to have a job producing income, and believed that the only place that a woman belonged was at home, keeping the family intact. One source indicated that it was considered unnatural to be seen outside of the home and blamed women for taking jobs from men. Most women felt defeated gaining respect outside of the home and were stuck at home all day or out with low-paying jobs, not worthy enough of their capabilities. But they hadn't lost the work fight just yet. Although women used their own views to gain rights, they often came together and protested to gain equality. Throughout most of history, for the most part, women have had fewer legal rights and work opportunities than men. Motherhood was regarded as women's most significant profession. However, in 1920, women in America gained the right to vote. This in turn increased their educational and job opportunities. As time progressed, women fought for and later changed the traditional views of their role in society. Gaining more respect in society gave women the confidence they needed to begin working outside of the home, in things like textile mills and garment shops. Overall, women in the South generally stuck to Southern tradition. However, they slowly grasped the idea of freedom when they finally gained equal rights. The 1930s was known for many things, including equal rights for women. By 1932, the Great Depression had left plenty of people out of work, thus discouraging women from going outside of the home and finding jobs. Some laws were even passed that were against hiring women. Even though it was looked down upon, women still found work with low wages in order to support their family. By doing this, it proves just how strong women were in the 1930s. It continued to act strong today.